We are the anchors of Queer News Tonight, and this evening we discuss the queer headlines. Federal judge orders Aetna to reconsider facial feminization surgery coverage for 2 transgender women, ruling blanket denials discriminatory and harmful.
A mysterious statue of Donald Trump embracing Jeffrey Epstein appeared overnight on the National Mall, referencing the Titanic. Needless to say, it is drawing widespread public attention.
Survey of 25,000 adults find many open to AI intimacy due to comfort. They are open to exploring desires with technology despite certain concerns.
Donald Trump appoints conservative commentator Erika Kirk to Air Force Academy Advisory Board, replacing her husband, far-right activist Charlie Kirk.
Governor Katie Hobbs vetoed a bill funding Turning Point USA license plates, citing politics and government and concerns over the group's hateful rhetoric. All this important LGBTQ+ news and more this evening on Queer News Tonight. Welcome to Queer News Tonight. This is the world's first and only LGBTQ daily news television show, broadcasting live and available on demand on your favorite streaming channels.
Analytics company vidIQ has certified the Queer News Tonight YouTube channel as the world's most popular LGBTQ streaming news show. Our queer stories have reached over 12 million views.
We are proud that Queer News Tonight has more YouTube subscribers than any other LGBTQ brand in Florida.
We thank you for watching and supporting our voice in our rainbow family. There is no other news program in the LGBTQ+ world like Queer News Tonight.
It is Wednesday, March 11th. We are live and literally out of the closet and into the headlines. So many of your important stories we will tell this evening on Queer News Tonight.
You're watching Queer News Tonight, the world's first daily LGBTQ evening news show.
Welcome to the world's most important LGBTQ evening news show.
Hotspots magazine, Happening Out Television Network, is a nonprofit 501c3 media company in the same model as PBS and NPR, but created for the LGBTQ community. Our nonprofit mission is to support the 11 pillars of our community. We want to inform and educate the key issues of lesbian, trans, Latino, Black, healthcare, seniors, students, faith, social justice, business, and queer culture. Help us support our diverse community.
We are part of one of the largest LGBTQ nonprofit media companies in America, Hotspots Magazine and Happening Out Television Network. Hotspots Happening Out is a proud beneficiary of the 2026 Florida AIDS Walk, standing strong by our healthcare pillar. If you are in Fort Lauderdale on March 21st, we invite you to join us at the Florida AIDS Walk. Register with our team at www.faw.lgbt.
In 2026, our magazine is celebrating 41 years of the LGBTQ+ experience, and Queer News Tonight is celebrating our 5th anniversary with more than 14,000 LGBTQ television stories told. We present South Florida's major LGBTQ+ events, including Pride Fort Lauderdale, Stonewall Pride, and Pride Fete. Our magazine, events, television, news, talk, and entertainment shows support our mission to educate the LGBTQ+ and broader communities.
In 2026, more than 100 community leaders will sit at this table and share their voices as our anchors. Together, we host this show to support the LGBTQ community. Let's meet this evening's anchors at Queer News Tonight. Let's welcome anchor Luis Rodriguez. Born and raised in Miami, Luis Rodriguez is deeply rooted in South Florida's LGBTQ+ community. A graduate of the University of South Florida, he serves as office manager at Twist Nightclub in Miami Beach. Dedicated to service, Luis has volunteered with numerous organizations and currently sits on the board of directors for both Miami Beach Pride and the Outshine LGBTQ+ Film Festival. Luis, the Miami Beach Pride Festival and Parade is scheduled on April 11th and 12th. Tell me, what's happening out?
Miami Beach Pride returns April 11th through 12th 2026, bringing 2 days of celebration and music community to the heart of Miami Beach. The Free Pride Festival kicks off Saturday, April 11th at noon at Loomis Park with 2 stages, 12 pavilions, celebrity entertainers, DJs, and special events. On Sunday, April 12th at 12 p.m., the vibrant Miami Beach Pride Parade marches down Ocean Drive, followed by Festival Day 2 at Loomis Park. The multi-day event unites LGBTQ community members, allies, visitors, and under the Miami sun for a weekend of pride, unity, and joy. More details can be found at miamibeachpride.com. There's so many special events. We actually have an opening on Lincoln Road and Euclid with the Spam All-Stars, some music and dancing. That's a free event. All our events are listed on our site. We have a Pride flag raising ceremony. The Mr. and Mrs. Pride pageant will be at the Palace this year. We have our Drag Me to Pride event Friday night, which is a 21 and over event, but it's going to be joyful and fun. We're so excited. We have so many community members, commissioners, mayors, sponsors that have stepped up this year, especially in our current climate. And it's so fun to see people that are expected and coming out for this event. People from all over the country, all over the world that still come and show up for our Pride.
I'm sorry. I am tragically unhip, as I think all the viewers watching are aware. What or whom are the Spam All-Stars?
The Spam All-Stars is a jazz group, mostly Latin.
Ooh.
They're very local, and they'll be playing free at one of our opening events during the week on Lincoln Road and Euclid Avenue.
Oh, that's so cool. Can't wait.
This is such a great weekend because I actually got to experience it for the first time myself last year. The Gay Men's Chorus, was there in their presence, and so it's just such a fun camaraderie, and you get to see just about everybody in Miami that supports LGBTQ. The weather is generally pretty decent, it's not too hot, and it's just really a fun time for everybody.
Yeah, I think that I love the event because it's for the entire family. Like you have events for the pet. Don't you have a pet day as well?
There's the family picnic.
The family
which
picnic.
is on the 4th, which is we're also going to have the Humane Society there having a free pet adoption event. So if you need a new doggy or new pet in your life, the Humane Society is going to be there supporting us during that time.
Absolutely. A great way to share the love with our four-legged friends too, which for most in the LGBT community is our family.
Yes.
Queer News Tonight looks forward to seeing you at Miami Beach Pride Festival and Parade on April 11th and 12th. Let's welcome anchor Edward Otto Zielke, an accomplished brand, influencer, and marketing leader with a dynamic background in financial services and travel marketing. Edward currently serves as the Director of Marketing and Sponsorship for the Gay Men's Chorus of South Florida. He also serves on the Gala Chorus Communication Committee. Edward, ABBA is less than 2 weeks away. Tell us what's happening out.
Can you believe it? It's less than 2 weeks away, and we've got 2 concerts coming up. One already sold out. That is ABBA, Thank You for the Music, at the Parker in Fort Lauderdale. That's on March 20th. And unfortunately, like I said, we don't have any tickets. That went very quickly. I think about a few months ago, we sold out. But if you don't get tickets to that, we've got a second show that we just put together. ABBA, Mamma Mia, here we go again at Sunshine Cathedral on Sunday, March 22nd at 7 p.m. You can go and get your tickets at gmcsf.org. You're going to hear all of the best of the ABBA. You're going to hear Mamma Mia. You're going to hear Dancing Queen. You're going to hear Voulez-Vous. You're going to hear just about every type of song that you would expect to hear from ABBA.
Absolutely. And then from the Gay Men's Chorus, why not? So much that you had to create a second event.
Yeah, can you believe it? We sold out so quickly, and now we've got about less than 100 tickets left for the Sunshine Cathedral performance.
Already?
So that's already creating a buzz, that already people are trying to get their last-minute tickets at this point.
Yeah, okay, I go to everything. Even I couldn't get tickets to the first show. So thank you for helping me get into the second show. Yeah. But I am so in the mood for this. This last weekend, the chorus held a community sing-along featuring all ABBA or ABBA member music, and it was It was so cool. I was there with entertainment critic for LSFL with me, Rick Carlin.
Yes.
We had such a good time. So if you want to get in the mood, if you want to kind of get the vibe, want to see what you're in for, because there were a lot of chorus members there.
Oh, yeah.
They were singing. Unfortunately, my voice stood out in the bad way. But go to Greater Wilton Manors on YouTube and Facebook, and you can see my story, my package from that afternoon. And it was so much fun. And I usually editing is a chore. Editing this was a joy. I can't wait for this show.
And that's the key word. It was a lot of joy. It
Yeah.
was a lot of singing.
Yeah.
It was a lot of people getting together and just singing their favorite ABBA hits. Perfect to just kind of bring in this next weekend that we're coming up on. So.
Sounds like an absolutely great event coming up. Queer News Tonight looks forward to seeing you at the ABBA Command performance at Sunshine Cathedral on March 22nd at 7 p.m. Let's welcome anchor John Hayden. A journalist for 31 years, he now focuses on hyper-local reporting covering LGBTQ+ issues, Wilton Manors, Lauderdale by the Sea, Fort Lauderdale, and Oakland Park. You can see all his reports at Greater Wilton Manors on YouTube and Facebook, as well as in New Pelican, Outclick, Out South Florida, and once again, Queer News Tonight. Welcome to the show, John.
Thank you so much. I'm so glad to be here. Wednesdays, my favorite day of the week. One, because there's going to be some Jets Pizza afterwards. Two, because I get to be here and talk about all the stories that are affecting our community. I've got so much going on that I'm covering this week, from the city of Oakland Park taking parking spaces away from residents to Lauderdale by the Sea, which just happened last night, renaming a section of Commercial Boulevard for Donald Trump. And it was ugly, and you can see it all dropping on Thursday on Greater Wilton Manor. So yeah, so much to do. I'm so honored to be here and honored to cover the community and tell your stories.
That's amazing. Welcome to the table.
Thank you.
And of course, let's welcome tonight's lead anchor, Jason Núñez. Jason is a trailblazing leader, passionate entrepreneur, and fierce advocate for equality. He is the CEO of Go Digital Hero and the Director of Programming at the Miami-Dade LGBTQ+ and Allied Chamber of Commerce. As third-generation minority Air Force veteran, he has served at the Pentagon, White House, State Department, and Department of Labor. Welcome to the show, Jason. Tell me what's happening out.
Absolutely. Thank you, Lewis. South Florida's LGBTQ+ business community will gather for the second annual Legends Awards cocktail reception and celebration on Saturday, April 25th at the Hilton Miami downtown, hosted by the Miami-Dade LGBTQ+ and Allied Chamber of Commerce. The evening honors leaders, advocates, and entrepreneurs who have made a lasting impact across the region. Guests will enjoy a stylish cocktail reception, an inspiring awards program, and an after-party featuring world-renowned DJ Tracy Young. The celebration will be hosted by Craig Stevens with an opening performance by Yoli Major. Proceeds support the MDG LCC Foundation's work for LGBTQ+ and allied small businesses. More information and tickets at mdglcc.com. So this is an amazing program. This is the second year. Last year we honored Steve Atkins as our legend for the 26 plus years that he did at the Chamber. And this year we have equally amazing legends that are nominated for this event. We have Alan Beck. Fun maps. If you've ever seen a fun map around, it's totally Alan Beck. George Neary, the CEO of Tours R Us. He's the one that does all of the tours around the Miami area, Miami Beach area. David Whitaker, well-known name for the Greater Miami Convention and Visitors Bureau. And then we have Mark Scott, who's a principal at one of the law firms. So we have an opportunity to really highlight legends in our community, true legends in our community. With every ticket, you're going to get a $15 Uber credit. So there's no excuse that you can't get there or get back. You're going to have an open bar. You're going to have food. There's going to be a raffle for 50,000 American airline miles, as well as a weekend stay at the Hilton Miami. So there's going to be so much more giveaways. It's going to be an amazing opportunity to amplify not only the legends, but we have our Civic Impact Awards, Excellence in Business Leadership, as well as the Emerging Leaders Award. So it's really an opportunity for us to come together as a community and recognize those from within.
It sounds like a wonderful event that's coming up. And I actually saw Athena Dion also being honored as well. She's a RuPaul Drag Race currently on that season. And, you know, she's so great in terms of how she gives to her community and to her family itself. You could see that already on Drag Race, you know, just her, you know, her interactions with Juicy Love Dion and Mia Starr. So it's so wonderful to see somebody at her status also being recognized, you know, from Miami.
Absolutely. She's one of the 4 Performer of the Year nominees. Athena Dion, Mariel Epps, Yoli Major, and DJ Tracy Young are also in the running for that. You know, and it is a community vote. So go to mdglcc.com and go to the event in our calendar and vote for who you believe should be the legend in each of these categories. And then I did just want to give a quick shout out to Lisette Garcia, who's the executive director for the Miami LGBT and Allied Chamber of Commerce. She has given you, the viewers, and those at the table, a promo code QNT. You will get $75 off your ticket. It will only be valid until this Friday at noon. So if you're thinking about going to this Legends Gala, use promo code QNT. It's an exclusive Queer News Tonight viewership promo code for $75 off your ticket, valid Friday at noon, then it expires. So get your ticket today.
It's so great to have all these good people in one space and one time and being honored. Some people that are friends, business partners, associates, and legacies in our community. It's so good to have this event.
I'm Jason Núñez, and let's queer up trans rights. Federal judge says Aetna policy discriminates against trans women over facial feminization surgery. A federal judge has granted a preliminary injunction against Aetna Insurance after 6 transgender women challenged the company's denial of facial feminization surgery, a key gender-affirming procedure. The lawsuit was filed after the women were categorically denied facial feminization surgery, or FFS, under Aetna's internal guidance, Clinical Policy Bulletin 0615, which classifies the procedure as cosmetic and excludes coverage. The ruling currently applies to 2 of the plaintiffs, Dr. Jamie Homnick and Dr. Jennifer Hurley, who sought the surgery to treat severe gender dysphoria. Both reported experiencing depression, suicidality, and worsening dysphoria linked to facial masculinization, and neither found relief through puberty blockers or hormone therapy. Judge Victor A. Bolden of the U.S. District Court for the District of Connecticut ordered Aetna to reconsider their claims without enforcing the blanket exclusion, calling the denials discriminatory. Judge Bolden wrote, quote, "To be clear, the issue is not whether Aetna's policies exclusion prohibits this type of gender-affirming care, but rather that Aetna's policy exclusion prohibits only transgender individuals, the only individuals who can experience gender dysphoria, from receiving this type of gender-affirming care," end quote. The decision cites the Supreme Court's 2020 Bostock and Clayton County ruling and provisions of the Affordable Care Act, signaling broader implications for transgender patients nationwide as the case continues through the courts. So let's call it what it is. It is gender-affirming care is healthcare, period.
Yeah.
And, you know, courts are increasingly saying that insurance companies can't just dismiss it as cosmetic. That's their easy way out. You know, and these blanket denials aren't just bureaucratic decisions. They are directly impact the dignity and mental health and the safety of all transgender community, all transgender people and their families, because it's not just the transgender person experiencing the dysphoria, experiencing the mental health breakdowns. It's the family that has to pick them up and their friends. So,
you know, the thing is, and we've seen insurance companies do this time and again over the decades, is that they may just cancel all facial surgeries in this category because the crime here, or the violation here, is that they're not offering it to everyone. But if they offer it to no one, according to what we just read here, that would be okay. So it's going to be ugly. It's going to be a nasty fight. But my God, healthcare is, or trans care is healthcare.
Gender affirming care is healthcare.
I'm Luis Rodriguez, and let's queer up the USA view. Trump Epstein statue appears overnight on Washington's National Mall, drawing attention. A 12-foot statue depicting President Donald Trump embracing his former associate Jeffrey Epstein appeared overnight on the National Mall, drawing attention from visitors and officials. The installation, titled King of the World, references the iconic embrace between Jack and Rose from the 1997 film Titanic, played by Leonardo DiCaprio and Kate Winslet. Along the statue were 10 large banners describing it as a, quote, banner year, unquote, for Trump and Epstein. The phrase appears to reference recently released federal investigative files connected to Epstein, in which Trump names appears reportedly 38,000 times. A plaque at the site reads, quote, the tragic love story between Jack and Rose was built on luxurious travel, raucous parties, and secret nude sketches. This monument honors the bond between Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein, a friendship seemingly built on luxurious travel, raucous parties, and secret nude sketches, end quote. The mention of nude sketches may refer to a drawing included in a signed birthday letter to Epstein in which Trump called him, quote, a terrific guy, end quote. Trump later said the letter was fake. This kind of seems to, Trump with the Titanic, let's go crash and let's keep the treasure and watch everybody drown,
Well, as someone who's with arts and culture themselves, I found this very fascinating. I found it very timely. And, that's what, some people do. They express, what's going on in the world through art. And, why not have something like this that represents, the bond that these two men had with one another, right?
I know it's only Wednesday, but this is and will be my favorite story all week. All week, because looking at this, can we see them embraced again? Like, oh, there you go. That is, oh my gosh, because I know that he sees it. I know he sees it. I know how he's going to react, and that is wonderful. But the thing is, this isn't even the first time someone's put up an installation like this. I think, do we have the picture of the other? Oh, there we go.
Yeah. Holding
hands, running down the National Mall, Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein. This is a very serious story. What's caused this? Sexual assault, human trafficking, all that. But in a time when we're just begging to keep people's attention on a story that needs to be paid attention to, this is a wonderful way to do it. So bravo to the artist. I want more. I can't wait. Probably around May we'll get another one, I hope. So thank you. Mwah, chef's kiss.
Yeah. I could hear Celine Dion's song. My heart will go
right.
on, and it just feels so appropriate.
You have to admit, out of all the monuments, this is the most uncomfortable one.
Oh, yeah.
It has to be the most uncomfortable one.
For him.
For him, yes. And then, to your point of arts and culture, whether you see it as satire or whether you see it as a protest, it just goes to show that in the arts, it is a powerful megaphone. Sure. No matter what the form of art is a louder megaphone that also, in this case, addresses the politics at hand.
Absolutely.
I'm Otto Zielke, and let's queer up gay culture. Survey finds over half of adults open to sexual experimentation with artificial intelligence. A new survey suggests that many adults are increasingly open to exploring intimacy with artificial intelligence. A survey of 25,000 adults by the AI relationships platform Joy AI revealed that 55% of respondents were open to sexually experimenting with AI or found it a turn-on. The data shared by the platform further revealed that 45% of participants found that the idea of threesomes with their partner and an AI third hot, while 61% admitted to feeling more comfortable sharing their sexual desires with an AI rather than another person. Furthermore, 61% said AI helped them discover kinks or sexual interests they did not know they had. Nothing is more queer than this. However, concerns remain around the use of AI for sexual gratification. Most recently, Twitter was widely condemned for allowing Grok to digitally undress people without their consent and generate sexualized images of children at users' request. Amid the criticism, Musk stated that on January 3rd, anyone who is using Grok to make illegal content would suffer the same consequences as if they were uploading illegal content. AI has increasingly been linked to the spread of misinformation and reinforcement of online bias. However, the survey's findings suggest that many people remain curious about how artificial intelligence could shape future conversations around intimacy and relationships. Well, you know, as someone who's been working with AI and those tools and stuff, you know, this is kind of crossing that border for me where I feel like might be going a little bit too far in terms of like intimacy and human contact and human relationships. You know, I understand it using it as a tool maybe to better yourselves and maybe, you know, educate yourselves. But if you're using it, you know, just as like, you know, as an alternative, you know, I feel like you might be missing out on something.
Yeah, so the other day I was in bed with Faye Watt on the Faye Watt show, and we had a letter written in about how this one guy was getting all these long text messages from his boyfriend, but his boyfriend used AI to explain what he was thinking. And it was like, the question was like, who are you dating? Are you dating AI or are you dating an actual human?
Yeah.
But you know, this whole AI and intimacy thing, you're right. I mean, it goes to the next frontier. Like, what's next? But it also raises the question about loneliness, connection, and our digital age that we're living in, whether it's social media, and in this case, AI for kinks and sexual interest. You know, how much of humanity and that physical contact and that physical touch we're losing.
And we don't have any really type of barriers around this too. You know, I mean, you could see the examples that were in the article in terms of like, you know, Grok with, you know, possibly using this, you know, very negatively, you know, like anything. So yeah, you know, it's something to really take a look at with all of this.
I don't see any benefit to the public in general. It just has people more isolated, and they're lacking more social skills, and then people going, it's in your head. This is literally in your head.
Yeah, and you can't even tell like what's real and what's AI. I mean, wait. Oh my gosh, Edward, you're AI Edward.
Am I?
I'm John Hayden, and let's queer up gay culture. Trump appoints Erika Kirk to Air Force Academy board after the death of her husband, far-right activist Charlie Kirk. U.S. President Donald Trump has appointed conservative activist Erika Kirk to the advisory board of the United States Air Force Academy, replacing her late husband, Charlie. The 37-year-old political commentator and former beauty pageant title holder has no military experience. Charlie Kirk was shot in the neck and died in September. Erika was chosen over the weekend to join the Board of Visitors, which advises the Academy on logistical, disciplinary, and instructional matters and prepares semi-annual reports for government officials. White House spokesperson Olivia Wales defended the appointment, saying, Charlie Kirk served proudly on the board, inspiring not only the next generation of service members, but millions around the world with his bold Christian faith, defense of truth, and deep, deep love of the country. Erika Kirk will continue his legacy and be a fearless advocate for the most elite air power force in the history of the world, whose warriors keep our nation safe, strong, and free. End quote. Are we sure Pete Hegseth didn't write that quote? You know, Erika Kirk, well, the Air Force Academy is arguably the most conservative and most religion injecting of the U.S. academies. Her husband was a vile man, a fascist by any measure, and the facts that we're going through all these lengths to keep his legacy alive, even though he's not, is just repulsive to me. And to quote Erika Kirk, "Unsex me here." Oh, I'm sorry, wait, that was Lady Macbeth. It's easy to mix those two.
You know, this appointment also shows how politics have increasingly intersected with military institutions that are traditionally nonpartisan or above partisanship. You know, I served 23 years in the Air Force. I agree, it is the best academy. I wouldn't go there myself, but I like being enlisted. But I also believe, you know, the military as a veteran active duty reservist, like, it should really stay all about camaraderie, service, leadership, and preparing the next generation of officers, which is what these academies are supposed to do. Mm-hmm. The future leaders of these military branches, these military forces. And there should be no political ideology across the board, whether faith-based, conservative, liberal. Just keep politics out of the military, because that is where you start getting muddied in terms of the camaraderie and the esprit de corps. What Trump claims the LGBT community, being gay in the military, transgender, they disrupt esprit de corps. This disrupts esprit de corps.
Yes.
I'm Jason Núñez, and let's queer up the USA View. Arizona governor vetoes bill that would fund Charlie Kirk's Turning Point USA with license plate fees. A bill that would have directed public funds to conservative activist groups have been vetoed by Katie Hobbs, the governor of Arizona. The Democratic governor rejected a GOP-led Senate proposal that would have donated $17 from the sale of $25 license plates, honoring the late right-wing commentator Charlie Kirk, to Turning Point USA, the youth conservative organization he founded. Turning Point USA has been accused of promoting anti-trans and anti-immigration rhetoric. In her March 6 veto letter, Hobbs said the legislation did not benefit residents and unnecessarily introduced, quote, politics into a function of government that should remain nonpartisan, end quote. According to the Arizona Mirror, Turning Point USA raised $84 million in 2024. Its political action committee, Turning Point Action, which backs far-right Republican candidates and registers conservative voters, raised more than $27 million that same year. Democratic lawmakers also raised concern that the well-funded organization would receive taxpayer-supported donations, while similar proposals for LGBTQ plus pride license plates have repeatedly been blocked by Republican legislators. Governor Hobbs makes it very clear that she believes that government should stay out of a marketing platform, just creating these political nightmares, whether on the Republican side or the Democratic side, and in today's polarized political climate, decisions are really about where leaders draw the line between free expression and public endorsement. And Governor Hobbs makes it clear that we need to make sure that that line is not drawn in the sand, but it's a more permanent fixture of, you have the right to your free expression. It just can't be a public endorsement, especially if you hold a seat like hers as a governor and a civic leader, someone who was voted into office. It wasn't just something like you're hired for another job.
Yeah. She stood strong by her convictions, and I'm so glad Arizona is purplish, as purple as my shirt is today. So, so thank you, Governor, for standing up for us. There's been such a race. There's an effort down to in the state legislature that's going to name a section of road in Miami-Dade County for Charlie Kirk. They want to build statues to him and require campuses to put a Charlie Kirk Boulevard on every single campus around here. So I'd just like to take a moment to remember some of the things that this person, this vile, wretched person who right now I'm sure is burning in the fires of the hell that he believed in. If you're a WNBA pot-smoking black lesbian, do you get treated better than a U.S. Marine? Happening all the time. Black people go around for fun to target white people. If I'm dealing for customer service who is a moronic black woman, I wonder if she's there because of her excellence, or is she there because of affirmative action? Reject feminism. Submit to your husband. The answer is yes, a baby would be delivered, talking about if his 10-year-old child were to be raped. And we need to have a Nuremberg-style trial for every gender-affirming clinic doctor. We need it immediately. This man wasn't about encouraging discussion. He was about silencing dissent. He put his view out there as the one that must be there. And what is that? It's white. It's Christian nationalist. It is very reminiscent of what we're starting to come up on the 100-year anniversary of in Germany, the Hitler's rise and the Nazi Reich. So, they can start all these little Charlie Kirk Hitler youth clubs on campuses all they want. It doesn't make him a better person. It just reminds us all what a wretched, terrible, vile human being that he was.
It's very interesting. I'm going to go back to the bill that we're trying to pass through. That $17 from the sale of a $25 license plate was going to go to this proposal. And so it makes me think that they must be so desperate for money in terms of all of this too. I think it's starting to lose its lack of luster, the whole Charlie Kirk thing. I think we should just stop talking about him. We should stop talking about his wife and everything around that subject, in terms of like giving him exposure. He was anti everything that, you would want to be positive in this world. And I agree with a lot of what has been said about, how vile he was.
Yeah, it's interesting that we're now starting to talk about Charlie Kirk Road, Charlie Kirk statues, when we have Donald Trump Boulevard. Isn't there a Donald Trump Boulevard somewhere around?
Yeah, it's going into Commercial Boulevard in Lauderdale by the Sea.
That's what it was, yeah. LGBTQ 1 Minute News, let's queer up gay culture. Hotspots magazine spotlights the spectacle of Moulin Rouge, the musical in Miami. Our Hotspots Happening Out LGBTQ lifestyle magazine, Hotspots, is back with a feature on the dazzling Miami premiere of Moulin Rouge, the musical. The Tony Award-winning Broadway sensation arrives at the Adrian Arts Center for the Performing Arts for a limited run, March 17th through the 22nd in the Ziff Ballet Opera House. Based on Moulin Rouge, the spectacular stage production blends over 160 years of music, from Offenbach to Lady Gaga. The national tour also features Hialeah native Danny Burgos as Santiago, bringing hometown pride to this glittering theatrical celebration of truth, beauty, freedom, and love. This feature story and many more are included in your copy of the upcoming issue of the Hotspots magazine on stands this Thursday, March 12th. So this is another example of how Miami is proving that South Florida is becoming that major destination for world-class theater as well as queer inclusive entertainment. And let's be honest, glitter, spectacle, drama, romance, that's basically the LGBT community's love language.
Yeah.
That is our language.
Yeah. And, on the cover, Moulin Rouge, great, love you, can't wait to see this show. But on the cover of the issue is going to be our one and only Faye. What? She just unveiled the cover about an hour ago in Wilton Manors at the Arts United Gallery. So check that out. We can't even show it to you yet because it was unveiled and then we were here to shoot. But we will have that for you. Check out Greater Wilton Manors. That will be posted up there on Thursday.
This is one of those musicals that I really want to see. When I saw the movie adaptation of this, it was so wonderful and it told such a wonderful story. So to get to see it here locally, it's just going to be probably one of the better things that we've seen in quite a while from New York. So I'm looking forward to it.
It's a great show. It was at the Broward Center a couple years back, and now it's premiering in Miami, which is at the Arts Center, which is a great center to go see. And it's a show for all the ages. When we saw it, everybody from a 7-year-old to a 75-year-old, everybody was dancing, laughing, and there's something for everyone. Yeah. And this joy is the good message in it. 1 Minute News, let's queer up gay culture. Survey finds gay men compare size more, but most say chemistry matters more than inches. A new U.S. survey commissioned by Bespoke Surgical in New York is shedding light on body confidence and dating pressures within gay culture. The study questioned 3,300 people, and respondents were asked about the perceptions of penis size. The average reported length in the U.S. is about 6.34 inches, with many respondents admitting they sometimes exaggerate when talking with friends or partners. Among gay men, 47% said they feel anxious about their size before intimacy with a new partner, compared to 36% of straight and bi men. Sometimes people say size matters, but there's the rest of the body that goes with it. So if that's the only part you're looking at, you're missing the whole package.
Right.
Say.
And yeah, literally. Gay culture has always been, it's had its share of like body pressure, what you look like. But, this study shows that most people say chemistry still matters far more than measurement.
It's hard to see, and it's hard to see that sometimes in the beginning, because when you're looking at magazines and video of people, in the act and stuff, and that's where you're comparing it to sometimes. So sometimes you get that self-doubt right away, especially when you're younger.
Magazines? Still picking those up at the...
Yeah, there's some magazines.
Okay.
I'm not personally picking them up, because I'm a little.
Of course
more,
you're not.
It all depends.
I'm working on the AI.
Well, it depends what size bottled water.
See, right there. And they say it's what's on the inside that counts, except for that one body part that's on the outside. And 6.34, don't even bother to hit me up on Grindr.
LGBTQ 1 Minute News. Let's queer up gay culture. These old steamy Calvin Klein ads featuring queer stars still continue to captivate fans. Calvin Klein's steamy celebrity campaigns remain some of the most unforgettable moments in fashion advertising. The brand has long embraced LGBTQ representation featuring queer stars such as Justice Smith, India Moore, Troye Sivan, and Pablo Vittar in its striking campaigns. Known worldwide for its iconic underwear ads, Calvin Klein continues to generate buzz with sensual imagery and high-profile celebrity appearances. Recent campaigns have even featured Brandon Flynn in 2023 and Vincent Fraley in 2024. I absolutely am a big fan of Calvin Klein brand. They are so inclusive. They donate to things like the Trevor Project, the Transgender Law Center. So, that it speaks volume of that. And as a kid growing up in the 80s, Calvin Klein was always something that I tried to aspire to wear. But alas, I was very heavy, so I wasn't able to fit into Calvin Klein jeans.
Yeah. So, Calvin Klein didn't just sell underwear. Those campaigns help redefine sexy and push queer visibility into mainstream media, mainstream advertisement. And decades later, it's still proof queer representation can be both provocative and culturally influential, such as these.
And I know he sort of regrets doing it now, but I'm sorry, the OG, my favorite, Mark, don't call me Marky Mark Wahlberg. He was so hot. Those abs make me want to get rid of my washing machine and just use him as a washboard. LGBTQ plus 1 minute news. Let's queer up gay culture. BBC cancels LGBTQ plus dating shows I Kissed a Boy and I Kissed a Girl, citing funding challenges. The broadcaster says there are no current plans for the shows to return after the upcoming second season of I Kissed a Girl. Hey girl. A spokesperson thanked host Danny Minogue and the production company, saying, quote, "We are exceptionally proud of I Kissed a Boy, I Kissed a Girl, the UK's first dating show for the LGBTQ plus community." Host Danny Minogue called working on the series the most special experience of her TV career. The shows debuted in 2023 and 24, featuring queer singles forming connections at an Italian masseria. Their cancellation adds to broader concerns about declining LGBTQ plus representation on television. And yeah, that sucks. But sometimes relationships don't work out. And that's as true for the contestants on the show as it is for television. Fortunately, we are in year 6 here at Queer News Tonight. And if any of those guys want to come on over and sit at the table, I think I can speak for everybody here. Get on over here.
This show, these shows were groundbreaking because they were able to show and normalize what queer dating was like, or what queer dating stories are, instead of treating them as like, oh, look, there's a queer couple. They normalized it, and the cancellation of this also shows us that we're still fighting for our space in mainstream media and mainstream television programming. So, if any of them want to come to the story, come to the studio.
A plus for this particular show, was that all the contestants were from different backgrounds, different body types, and they all, it was a rainbow of the gay culture and the gay body types. So it wasn't just one type, of gay person in it.
Yeah, they weren't heated rivalry.
No.
High sticking around.
Doesn't sound like it was.
LGBTQ 1 Minute News, let's queer up entertainment. Heated rivalry stars speak out against toxic fandom and online hate amid show's explosive popularity. Actors Hudson Williams and Francois Arnaud are addressing toxic fan behavior surrounding the hit series Heated Rivalry. In a joint Instagram statement, the actors pushed back against online harassment tied to the show's rapid rise in popularity. The message read, quote, "Don't call yourself a fan if you share racist, homophobic, biphobic, misogynist, ageist, ableist, parasocial, bigoted comments of any kind. None of us need your hateful love," end quote. The statement, later shared by director Jacob Tierney and author Rachel Reed, emphasized that the cast and crew, quote, "all respect and support and love each other and are on the same side," end quote. You know, the internet has given fans unprecedented access to heated rivalries, to the creators, but sometimes that passion crosses the line and it becomes this, which is harassment, to where the actors and the headliners have to speak out. You know, supporting queer stories such as Heated Rivalry, I Kissed a Girl, I Kissed a Boy.
Yeah.
You know, it means respecting the actors as well as the creators who bring them to life, as well as the people who are enjoying it from the seats.
Mm-hmm. And just the fact that they gave a really bold statement like that really speaks in terms of how safe they are with this product in terms of Heated Rivalry and the whole thing, because everybody's loving it. And it's on the talks of a lot of water coolers. Do we still have water coolers?
What's water?
I think it's an AI thing.
And I appreciate them coming out and standing up not only for the show, but for fans and the people who are just poser fans. But I mean, racist, homophobic, biphobic, misogynistic, ageist, ableist, parasocial, bigoted comments. I mean, are you new to social media? That's what social media is. So I'm glad they're standing up for it. I have a feeling they're kind of shouting into the wind, but I appreciate them saying it.
As a nonprofit LGBTQ media organization, we would like to thank our viewers for supporting our mission to tell the stories of the queer community. We also thank the generous support of Jets Pizza. Jets is the LGBT community's most popular pizza in South Florida.
Take a look around these streets. Do you really think we woke up one day and said, yeah, the world needs more pizza? Nah, just a better one. Better, like the world's best pizza. Jet's Detroit-style pizza. Hand-pressed and baked to the thickest, crispiest crunch. You're welcome. Now visit jetspizza.com and save. Click on hot deals for special offers in your area. Jets, better because it has to be.
These are today's headlines from Queer News Tonight. Our anchors represent the best of our LGBTQ family.
If our community is important to you, share this news with your friends and family. Don't forget to join the conversation on your favorite streaming platform.
Queer News Tonight is the only live LGBTQ digital television show in the world that is out of the closet and into the headlines. We need your support. If our community is to grow and then thrive, we must tell our stories and bring them to the attention of the broader world.
In this wide world, this is the only place telling these types of LGBTQ plus stories. That is the passion of Hotspots Magazine, Happening Out Television Network, and Queer News Tonight.
I'm your anchor, Jason Núñez, and I thank you for joining us on behalf of my fellow LGBTQ anchors here at Queer News Tonight, Luis Rodriguez, Edward Otto Zielke, and John Hayden. We'll see you daily at 8 p.m. To our LGBTQ plus world, we wish you a good night.